Well, it seems like this is definitely a love it or hate it movie. So let's talk about it. Hi everybody, Anthony here from Anthony Productions, and today I'm going to give you my review of the long-awaited third entry in Danny Boyle and Alex Garland's zombie trilogy, 28 years later. I know they're not technically zombies, by the way, that was just the fastest way to describe it. But before we get started, please leave a like, and at the end of the review, if you think I've earned it, please subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any of my new reviews. Now let's get into it. 28 Years Later stars Aaron Taylor Johnson as Jamie and Alfie Williams as his 12-year-old son, Spike. They live in a heavily fortified community on the island of Lindisfarne off of mainland Britain, the only place where the rage virus still runs rampant. There's two distinct movies here. One that resembles the typical zombie movie experience that people will be expecting, with Jamie taking Spike onto the mainland to complete a rite of passage for their community, killing his first infected. The second is much more of a drama, revolving around Spike's efforts to get help for his sick mother, Isla, played by Jodie Comer, seeking out a doctor on the mainland played by Ralph Fiennes. All along the way, our characters will come across plenty of infected, including a new variant, alphas, people that were mutated and strengthened by the virus to be completely massive in more ways than one. There is a reason why people online have been calling this movie 28 Inches Later, and that's all we're going to say about that. Like I said at the start of my review, this is a very divisive movie, and everybody I've seen online either loves it or hates it. I know, at least in my theater, there was a group of like 5 people that walked out around the halfway point. It seems like a lot of the hatred is coming from these people that just expected another tense, fast-paced zombie flick, more akin to the first two and maybe with some more genre tropes. But right after the cold open, I figured that this wasn't what Alex Garland and Danny Boyle were going for. And for what it's worth, I appreciated that. Like, come on, it's 2025. Unless you're a literal child, you've probably seen plenty of zombie-related content in your life. The Walking Dead, Shaun of the Dead, World War Z, hell, the first 2 movies in this trilogy. Though I did enjoy all of those, eventually the formula gets a little stale. We meet a survivor, they meet a group of survivors, they go on a journey avoiding infected and evil humans. Been there. Done that. That's why I didn't just enjoy this film, I actually respected it for going in a different direction while still giving people that wanted a typical zombie experience plenty of that kind of action. Let's start at the beginning. Though some people are bothered by this film abandoning the whole virus spreading to France ending of 28 weeks later, I just love that they kept the virus localized to Britain. There's something very intriguing about the rest of the world moving on from the infection and thriving. One character that Spike meets on the mainland has an iPhone and talks about delivery drivers, for example, while this community on the island of Lindisfarne is living life like it's 1850. Just without the slavery. Right away, too, I was completely drawn into these performances. Jodie Comer is very tragically believable as an ill woman that has only brief periods of lucidity, and it's very authentic in the way that it deals with the impact on her family. Aaron Taylor Johnson's Jamie is an excellent portrayal of both a husband that is at the end of his wits, clearly trying to support his wife while dealing with her violent bouts of rage and having no idea what to do, and of a father that knows that he has to harden his son because of the world they live in, while still being gentle and caring where it counts. He's a very layered character, and Johnson just devours this role. And as him and Spike head out to mainland Britain, the movie does give us that zombie action that so many people wanted, but with a coming-of-age edge. Alfie Williams is a revelation here. This young actor portrays fear, anxiety, intelligence, and confidence all so well, and seeing him grow from a nervous kid sticking to his dad like a puppy to the young man he is by the end of the film was a pretty cool journey to watch unfold. And this whole arc starts the second that him and Jamie come across his first infected, which also gives us a showcase of the incredible cinematography at work here. To keep up with that grungy, almost camcorder-like quality of the first 2 films, Danny Boyle decided to shoot this film using iPhone 15 Pro Maxes, and while it's obvious that they enhanced it with different lenses and editing, you can still tell. But that's actually a good thing. It definitely has a bit of a lo-fi look to it, but it works and emulates the filmmaking style of the first 2. Plus, the practical sets and landscapes combined with the interesting camera work and cinematography here, along with some unique rigging, like this picture that shows a multi-phone setup, makes it so this never looks bland, and is actually looking pretty artistic at times. And once we hit the halfway point and this transitions from a zombie coming-of-age story to a poignant drama, we still get plenty of zombie action, especially with the well-endowed alphas. But that stuff almost takes a backseat to the story of Spike trying to take care of his mother, and it was a great character journey to watch, really playing up those coming-of-age elements that I told you about. Things do get a little weird and trippy in the last half, and I know that's turning a lot of people off, but I love weird shit, so I really enjoyed it. And that's even more true when they meet Ralph Fiennes' character, who is very much a welcome presence, giving a more hopeful and positive vibe in a film that can be very drab and dour sometimes. He also brings up some very poignant ideas about death and remembering our loved ones, and his whole shelter area is very cool to see. All of this culminates in a climax that is much more emotional than it is action-packed, and honestly, it made me tear up quite a bit. And then There's the ending. No spoilers, but the last few minutes of this film is definitely the most divisive part for everybody, I think. And I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely thrown for a loop. It's so tonally dissonant from the rest of the film. And though I think it was a bit of an odd place to end on, knowing that it leads right into the next one, The Bone Temple, which comes out in freaking January, made it much easier to swallow. I'm sure once the rest of this trilogy is released and we're able to see the whole picture, people will probably look back on this film more favorably. But as it stands, I thought it was actually pretty great. Strong performances, especially from Alfie Williams, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Ralph Fiennes. Plenty of action with the infected, an interesting and poignant drama that flips the zombie stuff on its head, great cinematography, and the occasional nasty scene of gore really made this a great watch for me. And when things went a little nutty, I actually enjoyed it even more. And that's my review of 28 Years Later. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this review, you know exactly what to do. Please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss any of my new reviews. While you're at it, you can scroll down the description below, find my socials, leave a comment, let me know if you saw this movie and what you thought, and if you want more of my content, you can click or tap on these cards right here. I'll take you to my review of How to Train Your Dragon, or just over to my channel where you can check out the rest of my reviews. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you next week for my review of Ilio.